This is Science AF News. Did Venus once have oceans? Is it truly as hot as the goddess it's named after? NASA's sending a mission to find out. They're sending a probe to Venus later this decade. I think it's probably going to be closer to like 2028, perhaps. To Venus, not only to fly around, but to drop right in. We're dive bombing Venus to see what's under those sulfuric acid clouds. Of course, Venus is the hottest planet on record as far as our solar system record goes. Venus takes it away. Even hotter than Mercury, which is closer, but doesn't have the whole greenhouse effect that Venus does. So far, we haven't really seen much at all of Venus's surface. It's covered in clouds. It's hot as F. It's got a high pressure atmosphere that would crush you like a little crushed thing. So what are they doing? They're sending a 1 meter diameter titanium sphere that will free fall into the atmosphere. That's right, they're dropping a big titanium bomb the size of a toilet right on Venus. Hopefully they won't take that as a declaration of war from Earth. But here's what it's going to look like. There's a little...
Months after our second flyby, Da Vinci will release its atmospheric descent probe.
There's a Da Vinci mission of
over the course of 2 days.
That will be flying around Venus, and then it's going to drop the lander. There it is. This is a video. If you're listening to this on audio, you can find this video on YouTube. It's called NASA Returns to Venus with Da Vinci Mission Explained. It's a big old titanium ball, just like advertised. It's going to be dropping in. According to this animation, with a little parachute. Take some readings.
Its descent camera will capture breathtaking bird's-eye views of the mysterious terrain known as the Alpha Regio Tesseract.
And find out what Venus has underneath those meat curtains. Next. Could echoes from colliding black holes prove Stephen Hawking's greatest prediction? That prediction being Hawking radiation. If you are in the black hole then you'll know that Stephen Hawking, one of his most famous theories, is that black holes don't just sit there, they evaporate like puddles, like giant crushing puddles that will kill you right out of this existence in this universe. Hawking radiation has to do with these little virtual particles that pop in and out of existence all over the ether of the universe. And he theorized that these theoretical particles popping into existence could, right on the event horizon of a black hole, two particles come into existence and they get ripped apart and one of them flies off. That would make the mass of a black hole slightly less than it used to be, thereby making the black hole evaporate. Anyway, now we have this new thing called the LIDO, L-I-D-O, Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, LIGO, not what I said. LIGO, not Lido. Which is basically something that can detect gravity waves when two black holes collide far, far away from Earth. They make the entire universe ripple like a fucking puddle. It's very cool. And we can now detect when that happens. And so they did detect this happening, and there was a little bit of Abadi and his colleagues theorized that gravitational waves interacting with the black hole's event horizon could stimulate the production of Hawking radiation to levels that exceed spontaneous emissions. What does this mean? That means that when they measured two black holes colliding, they might have actually measured Hawking radiation for the first time. Hasn't been conclusively proven yet, but the researchers' statistical analysis says there's a 0.5% odds, about 1 in 200, that the signal is just noise. That means 199 in 200 chance, 199 and a half? No, 199 in 200 chance that Hawking radiation is real, just like Stephen Hawking said. And if, in the immortal words of the sadly deceased Mr. Hawking,
silence. I don't need anyone to talk for me, except this voice box.
Next in news, heating up testicles could solve a major male contraceptive issue. There aren't many male contraceptives available. We've been hearing about them coming for, well, all my life. I've heard science has been promising to do something about those pesky little spermies for decades, and we still have nothing but condoms and vasectomies, neither of which are a very good solution. There is a solution. There is a way to turn testicles off, and that's to make them warmer. If you warm up testicles just a bit, you could give up. You would have a way to turn sperm production on and off at will, because the warmer they get, the less fertile they get. One major problem, though: don't just wrap those golf balls in a heating pad, because they can be irreversibly destroyed if they become too warm. You can't just plop them on the grill for a minute and a half and then expect to not have any babies. I mean, you won't have any babies if after you do that, but you won't have any testes anymore either. You'll have grilled Rocky Mountain oysters, which are delicious, I hear. So this new solution is to inject nanoparticles or gold nanocylinders. Okay, imagine a tube of 120 gold atoms with a diameter of 30 gold atoms. Basically just little tiny, almost microscopic, I mean, not almost, actually microscopic little flecks of gold in your balls, and then they turn on infrared radiation, which causes the particles to heat up from around 86 Fahrenheit to about 99 to 150 Fahrenheit, and then all the sperms together go, and they dead. So this isn't on the market yet. More promises, but let's hope in the future all of us who have testicles on our human bodies will be injecting them with gold. Next in news, the Bat Falcon. spotted for the first time in the United States. It's a cross between a bat and a falcon? No, not really. Bats are mammals. Falcons are not. But birders have been flocking to Texas to see the country's first ever recorded Bat Falcon. A very cool looking falcon. Not very big. It's just like cat size. Carnivorous, but it's not, it doesn't eat peeps. It eats, here's a picture of it eating a dragonfly. They eat little mice. They normally live in Mexico. This is the first time it's ever been seen up here. It might be due to the climate changing, that they're starting to move up this way. Of course, Fox News is already sending out Bat Falcon phobic dog whistles and claiming that a caravan of gay, Jewish, Mexican Bat Falcons are heading to your neighborhood to breed with your American kestrels. That's a falcon. But don't believe it. We don't need a falcon wall, no matter what the haters say. Finally, in news, children who play with dolls develop key social skills for emotional development. People who play with dolls, or the children who play with dolls at least, tend to think more about other people's emotions and thoughts. They have higher rates of social and emotional processing that builds empathy, which they internalize, become part of their lifelong habits. Basically, this is a study that shows that playing with dolls is good for kids, helps them become more social and empathetic humans. Watch less Fox News. It says here, conversely, they found that playing tablets only made children talk about the characters in the game, not enact their roles like they did with dolls. But we're going to take a look at this in Common Nonsense later. Does modern technology with screens, is all modern technology with screens evil, as you might have heard many times before? I say no. We're going to take a look in Common Nonsense later. And that is the science news.